In this lesson, we're going to learn about the proportions of the hand. Fortunately, the proportions are pretty straightforward and easy to learn, so let's jump right into it. The first thing that we're going to want to do is draw a circle to kind of define the measurements of the palm area. And what we will then do is kind of measure out the length of this palm area and extend it up that exact same length. We want to duplicate that length up, and that will give us the height of the middle finger. And now we have some great reference points for drawing the rest of the fingers. Effectively, about 1/5 of that middle finger down, you can draw a line, and it gives you the relative height of the forefinger and the ring finger. Now, the forefinger is typically just a little bit shorter than the ring finger, so you can extend the ring finger just a little bit above that line. And then about 1/3 down of the ring finger, it gives us the height of the pinky finger or the little finger. And we can then extend that down into the shape. Then when we want to draw in the thumb's positioning, we horizontally halve the circle, and then we can draw another circle, which is sort of indicative of the joint of the thumb, the big muscle that you can feel on your hand. And what we can then do is just draw out the thumb size from that shape and bring it down. And effectively, these are the proportions. The most important measurement is to duplicate the height of this circle, and that will give us the middle finger height. And really, those are the proportions of the hand. You want to really learn this off by heart, get it down. This should be the quickest proportions for you to learn, and these are essentially also the same as the idealistic proportions, which are basically our real world proportions for drawing hands. The great thing with hands is that hands themselves are easy to reference because you have two of them right in front of you. So if you do find that you're struggling with the proportions, just take a look at your own hands, or anytime you're battling to draw hands themselves. Let's move this to one side and take a look at some other key factors when considering drawing the hands. First of all, when you're contemplating the size the hand should be on your characters, typically the hand covers the facial area. So if you feel that you've drawn your hands too big or too small, just check the hands against this facial area here, and that will give you a good idea of how big the hands should be. Now, in this particular proportion, your 7 heads proportions, you may want to draw the hands just a little bit smaller. You may notice that there's a stylistic trend of small hands, especially in the female characters. When you're drawing the 8 heads proportions, you can similarly use this same method to determine the size of the hands, if not making them a little bigger. Keep in mind, proportions are really guidelines, and so it's up to you whether you want to stylize slightly bigger hands or slightly smaller hands. Next up is just taking a quick look at the differences when drawing male and female hands, particularly in terms of how we have the line treatment. On the left we have female style hands, and on the right we have male style hands. And the key differentiating factor here is really bulk, but particularly our treatment of the tips. When we're drawing female hands, they tend to have a sharp point at the end of the fingers, and they tend to use longer curvier lines. The sharp point is quite critical. It's a way to imply sharp or longer fingernails that female characters may have. But conversely, in the male hands, you can see that they're more stubby, not as pointy. And in even burlier characters, you can make them significantly stubbier if you want your character to have really thick, bulky, or brutish types of hands. This is essentially hand proportions in a nutshell. Once again, learn it off by heart, and I'll catch you guys in the next lesson.